Welcome to Point Blank. This is your host, Panama Crypto. Today, our guest is ISO. This is second time around on Point Blank for ISO. My friend ISO took crypto Twitter by a mango claw storm. Initially, he only traded legacy coins. Now he has done the complete full circle into trading shitcoins. Now we can say he is one of us. Thanks for coming along, ISO.
Hey, Panama, thanks for having me again. It's good to be here. Reconnect after a while. It's been a long period since I've been on here. We've kind of gone through COVID. Hopefully that's coming to the tail end. And yeah, as you can see, I've been transformed from a BTC and ETH trader, primarily margin trading, to getting into the world of as we call it, shitcoins or altcoins. So exciting times. I think it's important to be able to adapt in this market, and some things I've seen lately that just kind of have caused me to shift gears somewhat. Can't hurt to learn new things. I view the market a bit differently, which I'm excited to talk about. So yeah, looking forward to getting it started.
Sweet. Let's kick it off, man. So what have you been up to lately outside of crypto?
Yeah, so there's been some limitations, obviously traveling, whatnot, but getting away here and there to still get behind the lens and take some photos. I've always used that as an escape from kind of crypto and trading. That's a passion of mine, whether it kind of sounds cliche, that term these days, but I really just like getting out there, taking photos, seeing what I can create. I don't have a particular style. It's always kind of just what catches my eye in the moment. So photography has been kind of a big part of it. I did some skiing early on in the winter season, so that was good. Kind of spent some time in Colorado. And yeah, just trying to stay busy, stay motivated, stay positive. It's coming into kind of the warm weather season now, so my mind is on tuna fishing, playing tennis, all these kind of activities outside that we've been limited to because of COVID and the weather. So up to more of the same. Pretty focused on crypto at the moment, obviously, because this is a very strong bull market. Like, I think everyone is losing sleep over it. Dopamine levels are at extremely high levels, and we're all waiting for that reset. But just powering through each day, trying to stay focused, healthy, and keep a balanced life between crypto trading and the things that I really like to do.
Did you manage to get the vaccines?
Oh yeah, obviously, because that's why we had to postpone this. I did. I actually had COVID like a pretty long time ago. I would say my case was extremely mild. I may have had a fever. I had a headache. So fortunate and blessed for that kind of COVID experience. But yeah, last week I got the vaccine. I got Moderna. Obviously you're hearing these mixed reviews from people saying like, I got Pfizer, I got Moderna, and the first shot was horrible. It didn't really affect me. Well, it put me in like a coma for 2 days. In terms of, like, I had a fever, my arm felt like someone stabbed me in it. So 2 days of pretty like brutal conditions. It reminded me having like the flu in a really bad instance.
But did you bounce really hard? You recover really fast, or was it like prolonged?
Yeah, third day, I was good. I was playing tennis that afternoon. So it's weird, right? You're sick, but you're not sick. It's induced from a vaccine, whereas like, you're catching a virus somewhere else. So yeah, it was a weird experience, but I have the vaccine. I take another one in a month. I know people are against it. Fine, it's their choice. To me, it's like, well, what other choice is there? Like, I mean, I'd rather just get it done. I want to travel again because I'm pretty sure that as international travel or just travel in general, like, you're going to need some sort of vaccine card, or it's going to be built into some sort of identification. So just surprisingly going with the herd on this one, even though no sheep is the motto. But yeah, got the vaccine. Looking forward to get the second one. Hopefully it's not as bad.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to get mine. Mine is scheduled for next Tuesday. AstraZeneca.
And that's your first one?
Yeah.
Who knows, man? It affects people differently. Hopefully it doesn't affect you. I mean, I had a friend get it the other day, and he I was like, all right, give it like, 12 hours. If you're not feeling like kind of tired or you're just like peaked, then you're probably not going to get it. And he was fine. And he got Moderna. And so he's in the clear. Hopefully you get the same treatment.
Yeah, my wife had the Pfizer one. The first shot was a non-event, and the second one was pretty bad, similar to your case, like with the chills and fever,
Yeah,
headache.
brutal.
But
Brutal.
she bounces pretty fast, so
Yeah,
that was it.
it was a quick recovery. So here we are.
So ISO, how and who pushed you over the shitcoin scene?
So I would say there wasn't like one turning event. There's some people I talk to pretty regularly. I defer to people who are much smarter than me in these fields. And then, my background was equity research, right? So doing fundamental analysis in energy companies and kind of looking at that sector and the subsectors of it and taking a basket of companies and saying like, all right, what am I buying? What am I selling and why? Right. So once I started to understand kind of the buckets of the altcoins, like for example, the NFTs, right? Okay, like who's the winner and why? So I would say Axie Infinity was like the first one that I actually really started to take a liking to on the surface, mainly because it was gaming. I was looking at NFTs like a pretty long time ago before they really started to take shape and, you know, form into like morph into what they are now in the market. I mean, I talked to EXO a lot about this stuff early on. And so Axie kind of was the one that made me do a deeper dive on things, start to look at some valuations, start to look at some trends. And then that was the first one I purchased. Obviously, that was like a mega winner. I wish I could say I held it all the way through, but no. I think it almost went to $10. We were looking at it 25 cents. So that started it. And then, I talked to Eric Judah a lot. He's a super sharp guy. And I also talked to a lot of people outside of crypto and understanding their approach to it and looking at the market through a different lens now from 2017, to what is happening now. And, it's probably something everyone says, but it really is different, right? Because if you look at these, I'll call them companies or protocols, shitcoins, whatever you want to call them, there's real utility in them. And the utility can be translated into value. And then that can be looked at on a forward-looking basis of what is this possibly worth in the future? Why do I want to own it? Because we're past the point of the owners, or the people creating these projects, just saying like, here's the roadmap, here's the idea, and we want your money. Now it's here's the roadmap, here's the idea, here's the product, right? Here's the product, and you can see the utilization of the product. You can see what's going on in the ecosystem, right? The strength of the community. You can look at, quantitative analysis, like figures of what's going on in the ecosystem. There's like, all right, total value locked up, like how much is being transacted, volumes, right? A lot of this DeFi stuff, the yields that they're producing, the innovative ways that these protocols are coming up with new ways to entice users from an economic standpoint. And so to me, it was like that these aren't really these shit coins so much per se anymore. They're actually useful protocols, projects with value and a future. And so then you start to do a bit of a deeper dive into what ones do I really like? And so a lot of information, I tweeted something like podcasts are the new research reports. The amount of information you can get from podcasts nowadays and really pick up, I don't like the term alpha, but, little hidden data points that might steer you in the direction of starting to look at a project or a protocol in particular. Like, let's say, for example, Serum, right? Fine, it's a SAM coin on the surface. it's an incredible DEX, like, but really, like, what are the things that are going to be a driver of that token going forward? So one of the things recently, like a couple weeks ago, was like jump trading getting involved and essentially allocating some volume over there and starting to participate in it. And on top of that, they're also working with, I believe it's Pyth project on a World Oracle initiative, right? So two things went off in my head. Okay, here's the credibility that DeFi actually needs, bringing in someone like Jump into the equation, right? Obviously, there's been some serious behind the scenes conversations going on. People, I'm sure, are trying to get in touch with Sam. Like, he's got a master plan. But now you're seeing like things really start to come into fruition. And then they're going to be working on the Oracle project, which, you know, I'm not a genius when it comes to this, but Oracle is like, okay, what's the data feed, or, you know, how is it getting the pricing? And so a reliable, you know, data set or pricing from Jump is going to bring more credibility to the space. That ultimately should translate better for Serum, right? Okay, so go long Serum. Cool. Example, another one's like looking at Radium, right? A lot of interesting stuff going on there. So as you can see, I'm already kind of just talking about how I'm looking at these tokens and protocols, and it's very similar to the way I used to look at equities. And so that is probably how I kind of got onto, you know, let's call it the shitcoin scene. Talking with people outside of crypto, understanding where their mind is. And these are investors, these are guys at hedge funds, you know, some of my friends, but like, to watch them come to the realization that there's value in this and they're not completely focused on Bitcoin. Most of them don't even care about Bitcoin. Like, well, you know, these stable coins are introduced into this whole ecosystem. Like, why do I care about like trading them against Bitcoin? I get it. People want to outperform Bitcoin and they want to earn more Bitcoin, but you can still earn some serious yield in stable coins. And the interesting thing about the alt market to me right now is the BTC dominance and how that has been such a driver, because people were forced to get out of altcoins into Bitcoin. Now there's more optionality. You're not forced to get into Bitcoin. You can go into so many other different stable coins, or, you know, Ethereum. Maybe it's better to measure your altcoins against Ethereum, not so much Bitcoin. Kind of digressing a bit, but I'd say it's a combination of people outside of crypto, people within crypto, kind of in my call it inner circle of people that I trust and talk to about, you know, some of these protocols to get a better understanding of it. And then just my own interest in the things I really love to do in my past career that now I can apply more to the cryptocurrency landscape and look at these other protocols and altcoins. Bit of a long-winded answer, but I hope it kind of helps to.
Oh, that was pretty good, man. You were mentioning about the Bitcoin dominance. Do you think that is Bitcoin dominance is gonna go vastly decrease versus altcoins right now?
I think I don't like to say it's where we are in the cycle, but right, Bitcoin moves and then it didn't really do anything for a while. And now we have kind of Ethereum moving aggressively right now. You have Dogecoin kick off the pump, basically. You had all these random BSC coins start ripping. And so just capital rotation of what's going on right now, I don't think Bitcoin is in favor. I think that the money is going elsewhere, but just particular to Bitcoin dominance, I don't think it's that good of an indicator anymore, mainly because of the amount of stable coins and future growth of stable coins versus, okay, what has it been in the past? And there just wasn't the optionality before to get out of altcoins into other assets where you had to go to BTC. Now there's a lot more option. So I think Bitcoin dominance is just kind of an indicator people are stuck on, but the reality is it doesn't really prove that much to me. Sure, it can keep dropping, but I mean, what are the exact reasons for it?
So what DEXs are you using currently? Are you solely focused on Uniswap tokens, or are you looking into the shitcoins on BSC?
Right. So as a call it a newbie here. Obviously, one of my friends kind of walked me through how to use Uniswap, set that whole thing up. So I started using that, trading on there. And then very thankful for the introduction of Cope, because it's actually forced me to start using the Solana ecosystem a lot more, in particular Radium, and has caused me to want to learn much more about it. And I like it a ton more than Uniswap. It's faster, it's easier, it's more intuitive, it's cheaper. People say what they want about gas fees and whatnot, but like there's a small percentage of people who can just continually just smash buttons on Uniswap and pay absurd amounts of gas. Whereas like Solana just is, I don't know, it's a bit more user friendly. I like the interface. So yeah, I've taken a liking to that ecosystem a lot. I don't trade directly on Serum. I've looked at Mango Markets. That's an interesting one. But again, kind of all in this Sol ecosystem. So I'm using Radium a lot. Staking, the fusion pools. So I trade Cope, trade Radium there too, trade Serum there. That's kind of my hub right now. I still play in Uniswap on, new launches and whatnot, trading ranges on those charts. It was actually pretty good for a while. And yeah, it's I'm just continuing to evolve my trading style, where I trade, and just, more my knowledge base of like this whole kind of cryptocurrency universe that I was pretty, I won't say sheltered from prior to that, but yeah, skeptic, and also just like didn't use it, right? So when you start to use something and you really understand there's utility in this and the user experience is awesome, like I could just be an investor on that alone, right? It's like, okay, I like Apple. I use the iPhone. Cool. I use the AirPods. These are great. I'm going to buy the stock. Okay. Like that's like a very 101 investor that retail can have that approach. So it's like, I like Radium a lot. I like the chart. I like Serum. I like the chart. Like it all starting to make more sense to me now, and really see like the future of what a lot of this stuff is, and also how early we really are with this. Like, I don't think the community, yes, we hear it a lot, but like crypto Twitter is like super early to all of this. I can't even talk to this stuff about my friends outside of crypto. They just have zero clue like what I'm talking about, nor do they even want to learn.
You're one of us now, man.
I mean, I like to think I've been one, but yeah, now I'm really one of you guys.
Hey, we could say you're a Sam ecosystem fanboy now.
Yeah, Sam's a really fascinating character. I don't know. I remember talking to FTX like really early on, trying to actually look at partnering with them with the trading curriculum, and like just to see how far they've come and how fast. It's pretty impressive. Super sharp guy. He's really positioning himself like incredibly well all over the place. Like, he has one of like the most powerful exchanges right now, right? And then he also has put so much into the Solana ecosystem and has the DEX play somewhat as well, right? So he's almost like hedging as like, okay, well, if DEXs really do become something, then I'm positioned here. But if the centralized exchange model continues, then I have FTX, right? And so, or there's room for both. Okay, well, then you're double dipping and you're just dominating all over the place. Like, he's also just an incredible person to just like create these loyal communities. I mean, people love the guy, right? And it shows. And so he's a really healthy figure to have in the space. And I think he's done a lot of really good things and will continue to.
Yeah, besides he has a massive leverage in the US. Now that he has Miami Heat Arena, sponsored by FTX, and being the second largest contributor to Joe
The
Biden.
Biden,
Yeah.
yeah, Joe Biden campaign. Yeah. And he's just wearing t-shirts, sitting on beanbags, frizzy hair. Like it's totally unassuming. It's pretty incredible.
So, what are the most important Sam coins to own?
So, I mean, obviously FTT is going to be one of them. It's a pretty obvious trade. I like Radium. I like Serum. I like Oxy. I don't know. Those three are really on my radar.
What about Solana?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole ecosystem. Sol is your core, is the
coin.
core. Yeah, core coin. Of course, Solana. And I forgot that. Just seems so obvious.
About Razer and what's the other name of the other one? Bonfida. All these coins that are listed on FTX that are nowhere else.
Yeah, I saw Bonfida. I don't know. It's like, well, what's the difference between that and Radium? Like Radium has more bells and whistles. The chart on Bonfida never works for me, so like that also just aggravated me. I guess I should take a closer look at it. Oxy's pretty interesting. I think it's kind of a sleeper. If the institutional interest does pick up, then that is going to be playing a role in it. Yeah, I'd say those are the main ones. You got a bunch of Sam coins too? I assume you do.
Yeah, I guess the regular Bonfida, Radium, Solana, Serum, all of them. FTT, been stashing that one lately, especially after the officialization of the Miami Heat Arena. I think at some point FTT is gonna be the next Binance in market share. So I think that one is almost a safe bet.
Yeah, and you know that he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that one stays afloat.
Yeah, and
just
he has
like Solana.
Yeah, and he has like what 4 years of the Joe Biden government in his pocket, basically. So I don't think that nothing's gonna go wrong for him, at least in this coming 4 years.
Yeah, he's
got that covered.
Positioned himself extremely well.
So what NFT projects you like right now?
So
AXS.
Yeah, I mean that one's just been like a consistent winner. That thing.
I saw that you were in that one since what, 25 cents, 20 cents.
Yeah, I tweeted like I bought an altcoin. People were like, "Whoa, what is it?"
That caught me off guard. I was like, "Wait, what? A shitcoin? ISO? No way."
Yeah, and then I
thought it was a fluke. After a few weeks, you started posting more about shitcoins. I was like, "This guy has gone full circle."
The altcoin shitcoin trade, whatever you call it, is pretty good recently. So again, it's like what is the market showing you in terms of opportunity? Like why would I be trading Bitcoin last month? Just seems so like such a waste of time in terms of like the returns you can make and where the money was flowing in the rest of the market. So yeah. So a lot of the projects coming up, more interested in stuff coming up, like that are high growth vehicles potentially. And so, as I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Hot
What's your
topics.
favorite?
This guy, Patrick O'Shaughnessy. Well, besides yours, dude, obviously. That was a trick.
Thanks. Appreciate
Good question.
it.
I think it's Patrick O'Shaughnessy. He has some interesting guests on. He had Chris Dixon on recently, but I forget, there was one where it's talking about the metaverse, right? And the world is really kind of moving towards a lot of the stuff that we would see in movies. right? Or it's just like, it's hard to grasp how much the blockchain and this cryptocurrency ecosystem is starting to move over to the real world. People don't see it yet, but we see it. But like the shift is happening, and it's not really something that can be stopped in my mind, right? So this whole thing of the NFTs, Axes was my first introduction to NFTs. I didn't really understand it, and then I started to grasp it. And I think, the whole focus of NFTs has been on art, and that's great. And I think that's where most of the public saw it, obviously, with people and, celebrities coming out with their NFTs, Kings of Leon, musicians, and, monetizing this new form of art. And I think it's important that, because it is digital art is going to become part of the future, that's not reversing. I just call it art 2.0. And I actually learned to figure out a way to make my photos come to life. And then I started to make my own NFTs. I put some sound to it. That kind of goes back to my DJ days. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I was taking old photos and giving them life and recreating them. And so, I was part of that, artistic NFT thing. But NFTs are really just a verification method, right? So there's so many other use cases for NFTs going forward. And going back to your original question, like what projects am I looking at? I started to follow like a lot more Telegrams, Discords, people, and one that's really cool that's coming up. It's not to market yet. Is this Wilder world, and it is a metaverse play, right? And so this is truly like, you can look at some video footage of it. They've leaked it. This is really like Ready Player One. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's like you're creating an avatar, you're creating an identity, and you're entering this world. And this world is like, I can go there and I can trade NFTs with people. I can actually go into this world and trade on DEXs. I can go into this world and complete missions from like a gaming standpoint. So this whole movement of NFTs in art, and then eventually, I think people start to see that it's a verification process. Like you're transferring one asset to another person, and that is like, okay, it's been transferred and here it is on the blockchain, right? So you can do this with like real estate. Like you can do this with so many different things. Like a concert ticket is an NFT. I have some really cool ideas that I'm working on as COVID starts to kind of come to an end, maybe not. But people are definitely coming out of their shell more. Vaccines are definitely helping people around comfort level of getting out. And so I think like, event marketing is pretty cool. And like I have an idea to do something around NFTs, like a visual experience, but the ticket in is an NFT, right? And so start to see all the different use cases for NFTs. So back to Wilder World, like this whole concept of everything being a tradable asset, like, well, here's something that like you can go into this world and everything is an NFT, which is very much like Ready Player One. And so we saw this in the past, and it was tried with like Decentraland, and that was a concept that was very cool. And I would say it didn't really pan out the way people thought, because it lacked direction and the timing of the market. Well, here it is. You have the timing of the market with the NFTs. I don't think NFTs put in a top, like maybe just some of the artists' art stuff, but the whole concept of it is still very much alive, and the market is huge. And you also have like a purpose. Now people know, what do I do within these worlds? And so full gaming and NFT coming together into the metaverse is something that I'm paying very close attention to. Because if you look at the gaming sector in, regular world, right, like Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, like the communities and population amount of people that play these games, and NFTs haven't really entered this realm. possibilities are pretty incredible. And I don't think it's very long until that world starts to converge with the NFT space. So Wilder World's one of them. There's a lot of interesting marketplaces out there, but NFT, that's kind of the focus, NFTs right now.
What are your DeFi plays right now?
Oh man, you're talking to a noob still. He's like, what are my DeFi plays? I don't know. Radium considered a DeFi play? Feels like it. Serum, all these DEXs. Fam coins, right? There. It's a simple answer.
That's an easy exit.
Yeah.
And outside of NFT or DeFi, what are your favorite projects?
Projects?
Shitcoins.
Oh man. I guess I just have to keep looking, right? I don't want to overwhelm myself. I feel like I'm going down the hole pretty deep and
too fast.
Yeah, I really like to understand the protocols before I consider them my favorite. I'll tell you what's not, like anything on BSC that pumped like 5,000% yesterday, or
Safe
Dogecoin.
Move.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. But I had like 3 people text me about it. One of my friends was like, "What's your favorite penny crypto?" And I was like, I don't even know how to answer this because
penny crypto. That's
penny, it's like penny stocks, right? It's just, everyone's trying to find the next $1 million idea. Yeah, I guess I'm constantly searching for that one, but also educating myself.
So to the last question, to pick your brain, ISO, what is your general market outlook?
Well, I feel like I would be dumb not to say up only, right? Shout out to Cobain and Ledger. Well, those guys are legends for creating that and the whole up only mantra. But seriously, like, it's past the point of this stuff becoming, a potential idea. Like, crypto is converging with the rest of the world. And so it is a mega trend that is looking like up and to the right. Sure, go through these mini market cycles, and you're going to get these dips and reaccumulation phases. But the way people are looking at it outside of crypto that I talk to and people in crypto is like, there's a long-term bet here, right? It's not a quick buck. And so we're still early. Maybe you're not still early in Bitcoin, but like, if you think Bitcoin's going to 1 million, fine, you're early. It's a societal shift that's occurring based on a newer demographic coming into power eventually. And the way humans interact with money based on the current kind of economic state of the world, right? It's so much more than just tokens and coins. There's like a real shift in society occurring. And so the shift has already started moving, in my view. It can't be pushed back. So it's only going to be pushing forward. And so with that outlook, it's very bullish, right? Time horizon being out pretty far, like, it's hard to not be bullish on all of this. Like, crypto is in the mainstream media every single day. Like, it's progressing each day. So bullish.
There's a massive change of posture since the last time we had a podcast.
Yeah, was that a year ago?
It was sometime like May last year, almost a year now. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, a lot can change, right? That's a long time in crypto.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I adapt with the market. It's not a really good idea to be stubborn, and I just take it day by day. And if I'm taking it day by day, like, sure, Bitcoin might look bearish here because it's closed under the 50-day moving average now 2 days in a row, which hasn't happened since 11K in like September. But it can go down to maybe like 47, 48, but it doesn't really change that much. I mean, if you look at where it's come from and just people, it's human emotion on a chart, right? And the people who want the coin are going to continue to buy it. And a lot more people want it than don't want it.
And with that, we end our episode. I'm extremely happy to have hosted ISO on Point Blank. Thanks for coming on, man. Can you tell us where we can find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is always really fun. It's good to talk to people, not really in person, but we're not typing to each other on Twitter. Yeah, my Twitter is CryptoISO. Let me just make sure I got it right. So it's crypto_ISO. My Telegram is different. So it's crypto_ISO. I'm pretty receptive on Twitter. You'll probably find me posting photography, a lot of BTC and ETH analysis, liquidity theory, obviously now more altcoins. And you can also find me in Crypto Insiders Telegram, which, we're 5,800 people strong there. And yeah, I pop in there, put my ideas, chat with the CI fam, and just kind of do my thing. So yeah, give a shout whenever you want.
And thanks for listening. Until next time, peace.